Hey guys, welcome back to Sum&Jess. Today I'm going to be talking about Amelia Earhart conspiracy theories. So, as many people know, Amelia Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, disappeared on their journey around the world. There are many conspiracy theories about what happened, and today I'm going to be going over 3 of the conspiracy theories that I researched. Just so you know, if I ever look this way, I'm just looking at the notes that I took while researching Amelia Earhart. So, Amelia Earhart was born on July 24th, 1897 in Atchison, Kansas. And as a child, she was a tomboy. She didn't like to wear dresses. Amelia Earhart and her sister would always wear jumpsuits and would always play sports with other boys instead of playing with dolls and being in dresses like other girls during that time. So later on, that was just her childhood. Now later on, she was the first woman and second person to fly solo nonstop across the Atlantic. I don't know exactly what time period that was, what date that was, but she was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. On June 1st, Earhart and Noonan departed from Miami, Florida to continue their journey. So they already completed 22,000 miles of their 29,000 mile journey that they had around the world. So, and then on July 2nd, they disappeared. They vanished into thin air, basically. And that's where we are going to start talking about the 3 conspiracy theories that people have about Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan's disappearance. The first theory that I'm going to be talking about is the open ocean crash theory. Many people believe that they just simply ran out of fuel and just crashed in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And they have some evidence for the reason why they think that they just simply crashed in the ocean. It says, so the U.S. Coast Guard was at Howland where they were supposed to go rest, get food, whatever, refuel, everything like that. And so he was on the radio the entire time, Earhart and Noonan were on the plane. So he was listening to the radio the entire time. And it says, according to his radio logs, Earhart indicated she must be near the island but couldn't see it and was running low on gas. The plane never made it to the island. So they think that she didn't find the island and she just crashed in the middle of the ocean. However, when they narrowed down the area where the plane must be, they never found the plane. They used deep sea sensor things to try and locate the plane, but they were unsuccessful. They think that she couldn't have made it to the other islands, like the Marshall Islands or any other island nearby, because of running low of fuel, and they knew how much she would burn each hour, per hour. So they just calculated it and said that she couldn't have made it to another island. The next theory is Nicu Maroro Castaway. I probably said that island wrong, but people think that they went to an island and stayed there until they eventually probably just died because they couldn't survive anymore. People think that when they couldn't find Howland, the island that they were originally going to, they just went and landed in Nicu Maroro. Okay guys, so I'm not going to say that island over and over again. I'm just going to say the island, okay? So, and this is how you spell it out, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just going to say island. Okay, so the island was 350 miles long enough for the plane to land successfully. And you probably think it's an island, tides, whatever. The tide was low, making like the reef show, so it made the runway or the land flat enough for the airplane just to land on the runway. When they disappeared, they got a lot of messages, like 121 messages over a 10-day span. And they say that at least 57 of them were from the airplane. So this indicates that the plane was intact when they landed to make those messages to the radio operators. Because if the plane weren't intact, they wouldn't have made any messages to the radio operators. If it was an open ocean crash, the plane is most likely not to be intact, obviously. So if they did the open ocean crash, how would they send the messages to the radio operators? So that's the thing. That's the thing why conspiracy theories boggles everyone's mind. Since the tide was low, the messages went across. Because if it was high tide, the messages wouldn't have gone across. Most of these messages were at night because the plane was basically sitting in the sun like the entire day. So they wouldn't want to be in a hot airplane sending messages to, they don't even know if they made it, to the radio operators probably, that they would just do the messages at night. So it would be cooler and they would go across probably easier. But then as the tide rose, the plane probably either broke or sunk because the tide rose and it probably just went out in the ocean. At that point, the messages stopped on July 13th, 1937. So when they disappeared, it was about 11 days from... Hold on. So, after my dog was barking because my dad came home, I need to switch because my dad's home and he's going to be in the kitchen. So, now we're in the office and watch him come in the office to do work. That would be just my luck. Okay, so as I was saying, the messages stopped on July 13th, 1937, which was 11 days after their disappearance. So that shows, but the thing is, the messages technically could have been from anyone unless they had like their location on it or anything like that. Then this like British party in the National Geographic article, it said British party saw something that looked like an overnight bivouac. I cannot pronounce things, so I'll just say it. I'll just spell it out right here. And then, yeah, so that's overnight Bavaria, whatever that is. And they took a picture of the shoreline, and it says that it looked like an airplane's landing gear. So it's proof that someone was staying on that island, someone was trying to survive on that island, and there was what looked like airplane landing gear. So piece those two things together, that can make a conspiracy theory. And then they also colonialists. Someone discovered 13 bones near the campsite. And they I guess they put them back together, or they just examined the bones, and it was a woman of Earhart's size and build, and shoes that were the same size as Earhart and Noonan's were on that island too. And then there was also a box of sextant, is an instrument with a gratitude arc. So it's just tool that they were using probably to try to get out of that place. They found that, and they found a navigation device. So you can see that someone was trying to survive. People were trying to survive on that island, and it shows that it could have been Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan. So, and it even gets crazier. Well, not really crazier, but more like evidence almost. There were remains of birds, fish, crabs, whatever, etc., as if someone were eating them. And it's not like a bird can eat. Why would a bird eat a bird? Right? So it's clear that someone was trying to survive on that island. And it says that they were not islanders because of the way the clam was eaten. So I guess the islanders have a certain way of eating clams, and it wasn't the way that whoever was on that island trying to survive didn't eat it that way. Next theory is the Marshall Island theory. People believe that Amelia and Noonan were unintended or unable to find the Howland Island. So basically all these conspiracy theories were they couldn't find Howland Island, they missed it, they couldn't find stuff like that. So overall they didn't go to Howland Island. And then they think that they went to a Japanese-controlled island called the Marshall Islands. They believe that the Japanese on that island thought that they were American spies, so they kept them hostage. And there is a lot of proof, or at least, there's some proof that there's some proof that they were on the Marshall Islands. This picture shows that there's two Caucasian people on a dock. And if you zoom in the back on a boat, it shows an airplane on that boat. Amelia Earhart's plane. And if you zoom in, so whatever these people, I don't know what they're called, but these people took the picture that looked like Fred Noonan and covered it over like a picture of Fred Noonan, and they literally looked like so similar. The hairline was like so distinct. Like his hairline goes like that, and it would literally look exactly like that. And then like his nose, just like the highlights of his face in the picture matched up so well to Fred Noonan's like actual picture. And then if you zoom in on the Caucasian, well, they think, so the Caucasian person that they think is Amelia Earhart looks like a man. But it's like they say that it's too small for a man. And so they took a picture of Amelia Earhart sitting on a dock with her back to the camera. And they like measured her back, like everything, and it matched up so well. And the way like her hairline is, the clothes that she's wearing is so like just so Amelia Earhart. And how there's an airplane on a boat, it just says that they were on the Marshall Islands. However, it's a conspiracy theory, so yeah. So people went and talked to like the Japanese, and they do not have any idea if Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan were on the Marshall Islands, because the people that like were controlling were the people living on the island at that time. There was no one alive from that time period on that island alive today to say, yeah, Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan were there. So there's like there is like a witness. There's some witnesses of like a son of like a worker or something. And there's this actual, watch a documentary from the History Channel about Amelia Earhart and the Marshall Islands. And there was a witness that actually, like she said, saw them. And she said that the people controlling said not to talk about them because they were spies. So obviously she can go and say, like, I think she said that she only told her mom and sister, and she couldn't talk about it. And she said that she thought that Amelia Earhart was a man by the way she dressed and her hair. So that kind of shows, so she thought that there were two men on that island, but really the other one was Amelia Earhart. So that shows that the way she dressed kind of tells you that it's like Amelia Earhart. Especially the reason why they were oh my gosh, Amelia Earhart, oh my gosh, Fred Noonan, was because they were the only Caucasian people on the island. So they were like, oh my gosh, there's different people on the island. So eventually they put them in jail and eventually killed them, or they eventually just died. So it shows that they could have been on the island. It shows that they were witnesses. There's good reasons why no one really could rescue them, because there was Japanese controlled. But there's another conspiracy theory in this conspiracy theory. So they think that they brought Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan back to the States, and they think that they changed their name. So if that was true, Amelia Earhart would have been Irene Krebel Boylum. Here's the name up here, who died in New Jersey in 1982. Also, here's Irene's picture. And here's Amelia Earhart's picture. So I think that they look pretty similar and maybe even the same person. And then Irene married a guy named Guy Boylam. And so we don't know if that's Fred Noonan or not. Just like we don't know if that's Fred Noonan because there's really like the research that I've done and the websites that I've been on, they never talked about, like they obviously focused more on Amelia Earhart and they never said if they brought them back to the States what Fred Noonan's name would have been. So we only known about Amelia Earhart and if she was Irene. But yeah, that kind of wraps up on all the conspiracy theories that I've researched. And if you want to research more about it, go ahead. I'll leave a couple links to the websites I used to make this video. If you want me to talk about more conspiracy theories, hit the like button and go down, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button. I'll try to post as much as possible. I think my schedule will probably be like every Monday or so. And but if not, I'll try to post every week. So this is probably gonna be up on Monday. I am rambling on, so subscribe, like, tell me what conspiracy theories you want me to talk about, and bye!